think back to a time where you're having a really bad day, you're having a really bad time, you've gone through something terrible, or you're just not feeling it today, right? You're just like, fuck this, I don't want to do nothing, I don't feel like doing shit. I don't like this anymore. Sometimes it happens, you know? Like you wake up one day and you're just like, man, fuck this shit, dog. I don't want to do this no more. I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to have to start working. I don't want to do nothing. It's normal. It's fine. Everyone has some days where it's just like you're not feeling it, right? Or maybe you just went through something really fucking terrible, or you just went through an experience that was like, man, after that, I don't feel like living. I don't feel like talking to no one. I don't feel like eating. I don't feel like anything. I don't feel like doing anything. I just want to go back home. I want to get on my bed. I want to go to bed. And I don't want to get the fuck out of it anymore. I want to stay in here for like a couple of weeks at least. Makes sense. I get it. Of course it happens. Yes, I understand. But you're probably thinking in that time too is, fuck, man. I can't wait for this shit to be over. Or, this is never gonna fucking end. Dude, this is gonna last like a year. This is gonna last forever. I can't wait for this to just be over or done with, and I could just move on from this, right? Now, if you think about that in that manner, if you think about it in that sense, then if that experience has already passed for you, then most likely you right now, in this present moment, you are living in a moment that past you during that shitty experience was hoping for. You are currently living in a moment where you're over it, you're done with it, you don't need to experience it anymore, and it's over and done with. You don't need to worry about it anymore. So the next time you think about it, just think about the fact that future you is going to think back at this moment, and they're going to think, huh, I remember that. That was a really shitty day. That was a shitty experience. I remember when I was thinking about when I wanted it to be over. And I don't know if it only works on me, but that's just what I think. Because when I'm going through something and it's really tedious, it's taking forever, I just think to myself, oh, it's okay, because time moves on. Eventually it'll be over one day. It'll be over eventually at some point. And when it's over, me in the future, who is over it, I will look back at this moment and I'll think to myself, huh, I was really hoping for this moment, huh? It doesn't sound like it makes very much sense, because honestly, I don't think it makes that much sense. But the only way for me to put it into a way that it makes sense is more of just give yourself hope that things will just move on. Things will go on. Because things will go on no matter what. Time doesn't wait for anyone. Anything and everything comes to an end, whether it's good or bad. So if you're going through a really shitty time, just remember that eventually it'll end. And if you're going through a really good time, you're having a great time, don't think about the fact that it's going to end too much, but just know that it will end eventually. For better or for worse, time moves on. And don't take any bad time that you're going through as a bad thing per se. Of course, it's probably bad. It's probably shitty if the situation you're in is just completely terrible. And I get you. You don't really want to think about the fact that it might be good for you. You don't want to hear me say this. You don't want to hear me say, dude, the fuck you talking about, dude? You're telling me that my bad experience is good for me? Like, okay, of course, I know you don't want to hear that, and it makes sense. I understand you, but eventually you're gonna think back at it and you're gonna think to yourself that was an experience. It might not have been a good one, but it was an experience. And every shitty moment that you have makes every other good moment after that much better. So, for example, I had just come back from camping. I have just been camping. I just came back. It was awful. The camp was terrible. It was practically a military camp. The tent was dirty as fuck. The tent was like 150 centimeters long. I couldn't even sleep in it. I had to curl my legs up to fucking sleep. I didn't get a pillow. I had a sleeping bag, but the sleeping bag didn't have a fucking pillow. So I just slept on my fucking arms, and my arms fell asleep. But whatever, right? I couldn't fucking shower. I mean, I could, but the shower was disgusting. And I wasn't fucking clean for a single second of that day, except for during the shower. But as soon as I walked out of the shower, I was filthy again anyways, because the air was nasty. There was dust everywhere, dirt everywhere. There was dirt in every fucking crevice of my body. It was disgusting. I was sweating my balls off. It was like I was in a sauna suit. Dude, I had dust everywhere. It was disgusting, right? But if it weren't for that experience, then I would have never enjoyed the shower and the air conditioning and the bed that I had at home. Because before this, I'd never even thought twice about my bed or my shower or the fact that I had an air conditioning in my room or the fact that I even had a fucking room at all, or the fact that my bed could fit my entire body and I could stretch throughout my bed completely worry-free. I didn't have to worry about an ant crawling up my ass crack. I didn't have to worry about mosquitoes biting my fucking shit off. I didn't have to worry about not dying to poison ivy or getting stabbed by a vine or getting run over by a fucking car in the middle of the road. I didn't have to worry about getting a clean shower because I have a whole shower to myself. I didn't have to worry about anything because I had a roof over my head. I have a roof over my head. I have an air conditioning. I'm cold as fuck. I don't need to worry about sweating my balls off and shit. I never thought twice about any of this because it's so normal to me, right? Because I live like this every day. You never think about it. And I bet you never think about the fact that you have all this stuff too. Like, you just come home and you have all this shit. You don't think to yourself, man, I have all this stuff. That's fucking crazy, dude. Like, I have all these luxuries, and you never even think about it. But then once you get all this taken away from you, the moment you come back to all of it, you appreciate it that much more. Because of how much torture that you go through from it being taken away from you, the pain that you experience from that makes you appreciate the pleasure from said luxury just that much more. If the pain of losing that luxury made you this miserable, then the pleasure that you'll get from getting it back will be that much more pleasurable. Because obviously before, when you were enjoying the luxury, you weren't enjoying it that much because you had it normally anyways, so you didn't really feel anything that special. But once you lose it and get it back, you get that it becomes so much more special, and it becomes such a relief to have it back, and you enjoy it so much more because of it. And hey, I'm not saying this to like invalidate anyone's bad day, right? I'm not saying that like a bad day is only a bad day because you make it one. No, I'm not saying that. Like, of course you can have a fucking bad day. I get it, like, right? But just use this as hope. Use my words as some kind of motivation for you to understand that, hey, your bad day will get better. Your bad experiences, it'll get better eventually, no matter what. You might not want to get over it now. You might not be able to get over it now. You might not be able to feel good about it instantly at this very moment. Yeah, of course, you might not. I understand that. You might not want to. You might not even be able to. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying that you will. At some point or another, it does get better. I know like everyone hears this a lot, right? Like when they go to someone for advice and they're having like a really bad day, and then they're like, dude, like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And then like the person who's like listening to you, who's trying to give you advice, they just have no idea what the fuck to say to you. So like their default answer is just, it'll get better, man. It'll get better, you know. I'm tired of hearing that too, just as much as the next person is. But it's true in a way if you think about it. And I know I'm saying the default answer, but I'm giving you the default answer with an explanation as to why that answer is true. Because I'm not just telling you that it'll get better. Yeah, it'll get better, blah blah. Yeah, of course, it'll get better. Shut up, bro. Like if I vent to someone about a really bad event that just happened to me, and then they go, "Hey man, it'll get better," bro. I'm knocking you the fuck out. But saying it'll get better doesn't really sound that good to me, and I don't think it sounds that good to anyone. Because just saying it'll get better kind of sounds like an easy way to brush it under the rug, and just to brush it off as like the person who is listening to the person giving their problems and like talking their heart out to them. It sounds like an easy way to just give an easy, lazy answer of just, hey man, it'll get better. Saying that kind of sounds lazy to me, and I don't really like it, and it doesn't really sound reassuring to the person who's hearing it, because as the person hearing it, like, how the fuck do you know that it'll get better? You don't know that. it might not get better. But I feel like the better way of saying that would be, it'll pass. Because if you by saying it'll pass, it sounds believable, because it is. No matter what you're going through, it will always pass. It will pass. No matter what, it is always going to be the truth that it will eventually just pass on. But because time passes, and with time, everything passes on eventually. So whether you're going through something bad, whether you're going through something good, eventually time will take its course, and that event will no longer be relevant in your life. Of course, there are some things that stick with you for a lifetime, but if you don't focus on the bad and the negative, and you just try to focus on the future, and you try to focus on what's positive, you just see all your bad events and all the bad situations that happen to you. You view them as lessons in your life, and you view them as steps and building blocks to help you build better, good times. And those good times will eventually pass as well. But when they do pass, they make you memories. And when the bad events pass, they give you life lessons, and they give you opportunities to help you build better memories and better good events. So this is just how life is. Life is a ladder, man. If you just gotta keep climbing. And it may seem like it goes downhill sometimes, but no matter how downhill you go, the only way you can really go is up, no matter what. That's just how human life is, and that's why I think life is beautiful, because that's just how it is, right? And no matter what happens, you're in control of your life. And I believe that God has a plan for everyone, and I feel like nobody's life deserves to be bad. No one's life deserves to be down there, downhill, and downhill forever. Everyone's life may go downhill once in a while, but eventually everyone has to climb up their way up. And I feel like that's where everyone belongs, and everyone will get there eventually at some point in their life. So don't you worry about it. You'll figure it out. You may be going through something shit, but just know that something shit is needed to happen for something great to happen at all, right? So no matter what, good or bad, it will pass, and life moves on, and it's your choice whether you want to move on along with it, or if you want to stay stuck in the past. See y'all later.